About 25,000 vehicles every single day, and at least that many pedestrians cross over. So you can imagine how the Customs and Border Enforcement people have their hands full. This, incidentally, and we have the sheriff and the chief of police both on the program tonight. We're very fortunate about that. This is still El Paso, Texas, one of the safest big cities in the entire Southwest. And the cops here and the deputies are working very hard to make sure that this city and this county, this area, stays that way. Brother Craig rode along with the El Paso Sheriff's Department at work. Here he is.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning here in Texas, and members of the El Paso Sheriff's Department are now mustering. They're getting ready to take down a known drug dealer. This drug dealer has ties with the Mexican cartel. They're dealing with drugs on this side of the border. They're basically the foot soldiers, and these citizen soldiers are preparing to take this guy down. El Paso, Texas is on the front line of the drug war south of the border. And with drug violence spiraling out of control in Juarez, Mexico, Texas police are struggling to keep their city safe. Lieutenant Robert Flores is head of the El Paso Sheriff's SWAT team. Give me an idea of how difficult your job has been over the past couple of years.
Well, there's obviously been an increase in drug violence across the border in Mexico. We can't wait till after it gets here to start preparing.
Street gangs like the Aztecas have surfaced in El Paso as the American subsidiary of Mexican drug cartels. And these cops are aggressively confronting them to keep them from turning this town into a battleground. You're taking down this one gang member.
Yes, he's a confirmed Azteca gang member, and our information indicates that the Azteca gang is being used by at least one of the cartels as street muscle.
With the El Paso Sheriff's Department SWAT team, and they're about to take down a gang member, a foot soldier, who works for the Mexican cartel. We're about 1 minute away from the target area right now. They're going to breach the front door by pulling it off with a rope. Here we go. Let's go. Taking a rope, they're hooking it up to the front. They're going into the house. Police officers are in the house. They breached the house. They breached the front door. They have the suspect on the floor. Suspect is now apprehended. He has 4 felony warrants on him. Lieutenant, everything went down pretty well as planned?
Yes, sir. The individual we're looking for is there.
Got that guy. You know, you told me an amazingly high percentage of the cops on this side of the border have family with that. What's that percentage?
80% of the cops who are in that SWAT team have family in Mexico, in Juarez. In fact, many of them grew up in Juarez, so they have a vested interest in their fight to keep the violence that's happening over there from coming here in their city.
And do you wonder about the security threat posed by our street gangs linking up with those guys? Former New York City Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik is in our studio in New York. Commish, what about that? Are our street gangs becoming subsidiaries, as Craig reports, to the Mexican drug cartel?
Well, you're going to have constant communication between it both. Look, this is where the demand is. All those drugs that's in Mexico that the Mexicans are trying to get into this country, there's a demand, and the people running that demand is the gang members, you know, in New York City, L.A., Texas, areas like that. So you're going to have this communication and this crossover from Mexico into the United States unless this war continues, and continues very aggressively. President Calderon's enforcement efforts and movement into that area, it's well overdue. It should have happened a long time ago. But this is what it's going to take. And it's also going to take, it's going to have to take our military, our DEA, our DHS to go in there and assist them. They can't do it on their own.
So do you believe that the military should at least logistically help them out? I mean, they're afraid, some of these guys in there, that the drug cartels can outgun them.
Well, I think, look, on the Mexico side, I think the drug cartels can outgun them. They've done it before. You know, there's a lot of poverty in Mexico. The national and the state police, or the municipal and state police entities have not done a good job. There's been a lot of corruption. Even at some of the federal level in Mexico, they've had corruption problems. But for the most part, The federales need our support. They need money. They need our military, our DEA, and DHS to assist them.
Commish, thanks very much. We'll be right back, folks, after this.